Alpha, new French drama from Julia Ducournau, who previously made Raw and Titan. This stars Tahar Rahim, Golshifteh Farahani, Melissa Boros, and Emma Mackey. Much like Ducournau's previous movies, this is a slightly surreal, indirect, and not fully grounded in reality movie in an art house kind of way. The film starts with the titular Alpha, a 13-year-old girl coming back home from a party with a freshly made, unhealed tattoo on her arm, apparently made during a party with a dirty needle. Her single mother immediately becomes very afraid because apparently there is an epidemic of a terrible disease which is clearly based on AIDS, but in this film shown as making people's bodies literally turn to stone or a ceramic material, making them immobile and eventually crumble to dust. The mother is a doctor, taking care of people who are suffering from this disease, but there is also a very personal element to it all. Her drug addicted brother used to have that disease too, and now he suddenly shows up at the apartment and comes to live with the women, sharing Alpha's room. So, again, not entirely linear storytelling with some flashbacks mixed in a not immediately obvious way, not entirely direct, not entirely easy to digest, but I have to say this. When I finished watching the film, I thought it was interesting and decent, but I didn't quite get it. But a few hours later, thinking about it in the shower, it all suddenly clicked for me, the meaning of it and what it was actually doing all along, which in retrospect is fairly obvious, but still it bumped my enjoyment of the film afterwards. And it also gave me that satisfying click in my brain when I figured it out. It felt earned, not like the movie was spoon feeding its meaning to me, meaning which has to do with the brother slash uncle character in the present day storyline being a ghost metaphor kind of thing, a manifestation of the fears of the mother and daughter personified in the character who was claimed by those very fears years ago. I think it's really interesting in the way it's dealing with themes of addiction, illness, the ostracism that comes with being sick, the loneliness and fear and isolation, and also the conflict between as a sick person wanting to let yourself go and accepting death, and your loved ones being unable to do so and clinging on to you, literally being your lifeline for good or worse. I loved how all three of the main characters are perfectly developed. It's always 100% certain and clear what are their thoughts and motivations and concerns, even though they don't spell them out. I love the performances, particularly Tahar Rahim, who, first of all, I saw him in Madame Web, and he was awful in that. But he is completely unrecognizable here because he lost 20 kilograms for this role of a man eaten away by addiction and sickness. And he gives a really fantastic performance. Very raw, heartbreaking, really impressive. I also found it interesting how Julia Ducournau deliberately cast a 19-year-old Melissa Boros as the 13-year-old Alpha. She mentioned in an interview she was looking for an actress uh, who was an adult able to pass for younger because she didn't want to hold back in digging for the character's motivations and tragedy and experiences and working through it all with a child. I think it was absolutely the right choice because Boros is believable as a teenager but can access that powerful performance that I think few child actors could, and even if so, it might be in some way, traumatic for them as people. Cinematography is fantastic. I like the music. The sequence in the nightclub is very memorable. After this and Titan, it seems like Ducournau has a knack for hypnotic dance sequences. And yeah, again, as I was watching it, I thought it wasn't all clicking until after it suddenly was, and I now appreciate the film quite a lot. I think it's my favorite of the three Ducournau movies I've seen so far, and I think it's really very good.